Welcome to After Hours. My name is Rictor. I am your host.
Rictor!
What?
Leave him alone! It's Judgment Day for Sasquatch.
Thanks for dropping me like a stud.
Now we got Rictor going. We're going to have to hear about it all night. That's a bunch of screaming memes out there, and that's the scoop that has been reported so far.
By your opinion that you are no-kill, you are dooming the species to be extinct.
Well, when you don't believe in Bigfoot, everything you see that might be one is something else.
We thought that we had the holy grail of DNA.
When are we going to make a video, Rictor? And I mean not an X-rated one.
Dr. Todd, you've also been called the scoff dick.
Yeah, well.
You can't talk about
I can't!
Hello, is this thing on? Am I muted? Can you hear me?
Hey, Rictor, I've got a question for you. How does it feel to lose Bigfoot Bounty?
My question is, why do you think Bigfoot is real?
I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you? Learn something from this.
Okay, joining us on After Hours with Rictor for part 2 of Kat McKechnie's interview is the beautiful, sassy, glassy Tammy Murray.
Thank you, Rictor. I'm so glad to be here. And don't forget to check out my website and Etsy store, sweetsassyglassy.com. And you can get a Bigfoot pendant just like the one that Steve Alcorn is wearing on his hat.
Oh, let's put that up on the screen. Ooh, we're just $19.95 plus $25 in shipping.
Shipping has gone up. It is now $35.
And the handsome Team Taser investigative reporter Steve Alcorn returns.
Handsome? Well, thank you, Rictor. You can also find me now. I just started a new blog. It's called UFOexclusive.com. Guys, check it out.
Oh no, we are not going to be talking about UFOs. No.
No time soon, but
No.
I just wanted to plug my blog since you let Tammy plug her.
Absolutely.
There you go.
And for her second time on After Hours, our After Hours paranormal investigator, Sally Petri.
Hi, everybody, and thanks for having me, Rictor. It's been begging. He's been begging me for over a year, so I am here. I'm also with Creepy Legends Paranormal Research, and I also have been recovering from leukemia for the past year.
And you look great.
And I am in total remission.
Yay.
But still,
Awesome.
but still, bald.
Like Rictor.
Like Rictor.
I've been growing my hair out.
Oh.
See?
Oh,
You have.
mine. Oh God. Can I have some?
Sure. But it comes in bald spots. I don't know if you can see. I got the bald spot showing.
Oh no, I don't have one of those. No.
Alrighty, and tonight we're going to be talking to Kat McKechnie. She was my co-star on the $10 million Bigfoot Bounty. She had a lot to say in the last episode about ghosts and the paranormal and some real freaky shit. Now we're going to talk about some Bigfoot shit.
Yes, I'm Kat from Maine. You can see me on Zerolux Paranormal, our TV show. Check out our website at ZeroluxParanormal.com, and also our YouTube video, youtube.com/ZeroluxParanormal, where you can see me investigating Bigfoot as well as ghosts.
Hey, Kat. I want to ask you a couple questions about Bigfoot Bounty, if that's okay. First of all, we've all had our interactions with Michael Merchant. I want to know how you first hooked up with him, and what are your experiences inside and outside Bigfoot Bounty with Michael?
I first met Michael Merchant. Actually, Tony and I met him at the same time. We were putting on a Bigfoot hunt in northern Maine, and for our meetup members, they like to investigate different things with us, and I love Bigfoot, so I just put on a Bigfoot hunt, and it's basically a camping overnight in the deep woods, deep northern Maine, and this guy that we know, and that actually Rictor knows.
Edit.
We won't give his name. He actually was the one that was going to come along with us as the expert. Not really an expert, but he knew about Bigfoot.
That guy.
So he he wanted.
Bill Brock, an expert. Oh. Wait, hold on. Wait. Get a take a drink. Hold on.
You're going to edit that part, aren't you?
No, I'm keeping that shit in. Okay, go on, continue, Kat.
This
I
guy.
asked a serious question here.
I'm trying to answer it. Sorry, this guy wanted to come with us, and so we said, yeah. I mean, he didn't come along as our guide or anything. He said he knew about Bigfoot, and he was Bigfooting with this other guy. He mentioned Michael's name, but it didn't stick at the time. And like 2 days before the event, he asked if Michael could come along with us. And this event was, it was a camp out, and we made everybody who went on this camp out meet with us first. We had to know you first in order to go camping with you, because we didn't want to have any
raped,
issues.
be killed, right?
Right. I mean, we're spending the night with these people in the dark North Maine woods, and it's very deep and dark out there. So I hadn't met Michael yet. It was only 2 days before, and there was no chance that I was going to meet Michael. But he vouched for him, so I said, okay, yeah, he can come along. That's how we met him. Michael was fantastic. I mean, the video is up online. He was just absolutely fantastic. He's very knowledgeable. He's very excited about Bigfoot. That was our first experience with him. Every experience after, he's just a really knowledgeable guy, and he's entertaining too. You watch him on television, you've seen him on videos, you've probably talked to him. He's just, yeah.
He knows a lot about biology. He knows a lot about the forest.
Yes.
If I needed to survive out in the forest, I would follow his lead and let him suck on the slug and eat those ants.
Yep.
Okay.
He does all that.
And he knows what mushrooms to eat, but I'd be afraid to eat those mushrooms.
Yeah, me too.
So the next question is, Kat, at least in editing, and I've heard Rictor talk about it a little bit, but it appears that you may have had a sighting while you were on the show.
Yes.
Can you tell us about that?
First of all, just let me preface this by saying that the bee footage that they showed, when I was explaining what I saw, they showed bee footage of a deer off in the woods. That was not our bee footage, because our camera guy didn't have his camera on when I saw what I saw. So they pulled someone else's bee footage and made it look to the entire world that I was looking at a deer and didn't know what the hell I was looking at. So thank you very much, Spike TV.
What the hell was that? Mike! Did a black cow cross your path? Did it come from your left and cross your path this way?
I don't know why.
Because when I was coming up, there was a tall black thing that went... I swear to God, it was over there. That's why I was like...
Standing upright.
It looked like it was tall.
Like a person.
I did not know what it was. That's why I'm asking you. It went like this. It came out of a tree, went to a tree, went to another tree, and stopped. Mike.
What I saw... Well, Rictor, you were there, right? It was the big cow pasture.
Right. It was a very dry area. Kat had her camera in her hand. Michael was on the ground. Michael can't hear shit. Motherfucker is deaf in his ear. He's always doing this.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, and so she's like, Michael, and he's, busy, eating shit probably, and she sees something. And what Kat if I remember correctly, Kat saw something get up from 4 to 2 and go from tree to tree to tree.
Yes, it was. I don't know what it was. And the thing is, I mean, you remember the area. It was a giant cow pasture. There were cow flops everywhere. And but there was like a big group of girl cows and baby cows. And they were near a fence, this barbed wire fence. And when we walked into this area, Michael comes from a lobstering family. He lived on the coast of Maine, like on the ocean. This guy doesn't have farmland angry bull experiences. He just doesn't. And I asked him that. He said He didn't. So I asked him, have you ever been charged by an angry bull? And he hadn't. And I have been charged by an angry bull, so I know the fear that's involved in that. And there were these female cows in this big clump, and I'm like, where's the male? I kept looking around for the male. And this was on our way in. We were in there for about 4 hours. I mean, Rictor, that was a pretty long day, pretty long afternoon.
I believe your sighting was at dusk.
Yeah, it was. So it was on the way out. So the whole time that we were in there, like every 20 minutes or so, you know, it spaced out longer the longer that we were in there. But like for the first hour and a half, I must have asked 3 times, Michael, have you seen that male? Have you seen that male bull? Because we need a tree to climb. If it's gonna, there's 4 of us. There's us, there's me, him, and I. But there's also the sound guy with this big heavy box on him, and he can't just drop it, so he's going to need to carry it with him to get up a tree if we get charged. And then there's the video guy who isn't seeing anything but what's through his viewer, so he can't see out the left, the right, behind. So we have to be watching for this bull. Anyway, so we were in there for about 4 hours, and on our way out, it was dusk. Michael hadn't gotten to flea or anything yet, so it's a monocular flea. So he said he wanted to flare something, and we knew that those cows were going to be out there. So he was like, I'm going to flare, but be quiet. Be quiet when you walk behind me. So I was about probably, I want to say, between 20 and 40 feet. I mean, I was quite a distance behind him. He was walking like this. He had that big unit up to his eye, and he's walking like this. So he can kind of see out, but he's definitely looking through the flare on one side, and he's going like this. I'm looking at the cows on our right side. He's walking kind of diagonal to my left, and as I look over to see what he's looking at, because he said he wanted to get around the cows, so that's how he was veering himself. As I looked over at him to see what he was looking at, he's turning toward the cows, and that's when I saw it. I saw the bull. I thought I was looking at the bull. I'm like, I finally found the bull. It's right over there. Because it was so big, and then the next thing I know, this bull stands up. I mean, it ran to a tree, and then it popped out standing up, and I did not know what I was looking at. And then it hit this other tree, came out this other tree, in like one step, and when it got to that third tree, it didn't come out anywhere, and I couldn't. I'm like, I still to this day, I don't know what it was. I do not know what it was. But Rictor, yes. I need to ask you this. Do you remember when they told us at the end, after it was all over, we're in the vans, and they said this? They had told the camera crew to make sure that we did not come out of there with bones. And if we found bones that looked like human bones, we had to stop everything. They had to call the state police, the archaeologists, the historical something, or like these 4 different departments, and they'd have to stop filming because there were shallow graves of Native Americans all over the place there.
Okay, I gotta say something. Dax and I came upon this because it was this black. There's 2 of them, black rock, rectangular graves.
Yeah, possibly.
And those rocks are kind of placed in a pattern that would be like a grave, and we're looking at it, and Dax starts moving one of the rocks around. I'm thinking,
yeah,
if this is Native American, you should probably leave it alone.
Yeah,
you know, I don't want any bad juju.
Yeah.
You know, that was kind of freaky, but Dax is like, but what if the Bigfoots bury themselves in here? And I'm like, no, let's go over here. I remember that, and that of course didn't get aired. So
Well,
that was kind of creepy.
How far were you from this, whatever it was?
It was, you know, it was probably, if he was about 20 to 40 feet in front of me, it was probably about, actually he wasn't that far, he's probably about 20 feet in front of me. It was probably about 40 feet from him. I mean, it was out there. I mean, it wasn't close to us.
Feet?
I'm sorry, what?
60-ish feet?
Roughly, yeah. I would say roughly, yeah, about, I mean, yeah, it was far enough that, but it's weird. It was far enough away that it was comfortable to view, but it was still close enough, because this thing moved so fast, it was still close enough that as I'm trying to process it, I felt nervous. I felt scared because this thing went from tree to tree, which they were not really close together, in like one step. The physics of human movement, I could not figure out how this thing got from here to here to here, and then I couldn't see it anymore.
And it was dusk, right? It was dusk, so you had somewhat impaired visibility.
Yes, you could see it. The way the land went, you could see its silhouette against the sky.
Okay, I got to play devil's advocate. Could that have been a production person punking you?
Yeah, no. There is no. You can even, if you listen to the audio of me explaining it then and there on the show with what they did air, that's exactly what I said in the moment. He said, "Let's go after it." I literally said to him, "Well, we can go after it if you want, but this thing is in the next county by now." That's how fast it was going. It was.
There was no follow-up at all on 60 feet from your location on footprints or any other kind of evidence to confirm what this may or may not have been.
Wait, they didn't put that on the television, but we went over there to see what it was, or to see if we could see anything, and we couldn't see anything.
And to add to her defense, the ground was so dry, Tammy, you could be a 800-pound man trying to make a footprint in the dirt, and it's not going to happen.
He's exactly right, 100% right.
So, Kat, would you say that the whatever it was you saw was definitely a bipedal?
Yeah, at one point it was definitely bipedal. At the beginning, I thought it was a bull, so I thought it was a cow. So I didn't know that they were on. I didn't know that Bigfoot traveled on all four.
You didn't know what, Kat?
I didn't know that Bigfoot traveled on all four. I'm a ghost hunter. I like Bigfoot. I don't like, you guys really know about Bigfoot. I did not know that Bigfoot travel on all four sometimes. I never knew that.
Well, welcome to Bigfooting.
that was a crash course right there, and it didn't. See, one of the Green Giants told me. One of the Green Giants said, "You have to stop looking for things so hard because you're finding what you're looking for." And at first, I was like, "Dang, that's actually, that could be right." And then I thought, and then after, it took me about a day, and then I'm like, then why didn't I see? If that was a Bigfoot, why didn't I see it the way I visualize a Bigfoot? What I saw was not what I visualize a Bigfoot to be. I visualize a Bigfoot to be a very majestic being with the broad shoulders and the broad chest and very, this thing that I saw, Dax explained it way better than anyone. He said what he saw was like a really lanky basketball player, and I was like, that's exactly how I would explain it. A really lanky, tall basketball player. Not broad, not solid. It's not anything that I would have seen.
I had my two sightings, one when I was 7. Mm-hmm. That was probably closer to what you saw. Now, human-wise, I can see why people would say, yeah, it walks on 2 legs and it's like a human. I've never seen a human be able to move that fluidly, though, not like this thing would. I was excited for Kat's sighting. I've had 2 sightings in my lifetime, so I know what it's like when you get even a glimpse.
Bigfoot does come in all shapes and sizes, just like humans do. Tammy and I have seen a photo of a Sasquatch, and Tammy, you think it's real. I think it's real. This thing is...
It's a real something.
It's a female. Describe it, Tammy.
Yeah, and are we talking about the reddish?
Yes.
With the boobs?
Well, the butt.
Oh, yeah. That was a badonkadonk.
Okay, Bigfoot got back with this one photo that Tammy and I were shared in confidence.
That butt comes in the room after her. It follows her around.
So lanky Sasquatch, chunky Sasquatch, I think they're all a part of the family. But you know what, Tammy? I got to ask Kat this.
Mm-hmm.
Kat, I said this to you on the show, which got edited out. You had the money shot. If you had your camera on and you got whatever this was, getting up from 4 to 2 legs, going from tree to tree, you could have won $10 million.
This is why we're here. This is the first close encounter that we've had, which means that you are on track to the discovery of the century. I would trust that you would go like a bat out of hell and get over there and try to figure out what's going on. Next time, you can't just let Bigfoot slip through your fingers like that.
You are so lucky that this is a camera and we're in a different room.
Because, oh my God, I would feel like Justin Smea after just shooting and killing the Bigfoot, holding it, choking it, and then putting it back down and walking away. Oh, there's $10 million.
Okay, honestly, Rick, I think that for $10 million, do you think that they would just hand it over at 60-foot shot at dusk of a moving, probably another blurry Bigfoot?
Yeah, that's exactly right. I need complete silence when I make this statement, Richter.
Okay,
and this is
here we
for
go.
the entire world. Complete silence.
Okay, the platform is yours.
Okay, even with the best night, the reason why the camera guy with his really expensive camera turned off the camera is because it was in that in-between where night vision doesn't work. It certainly doesn't work at long distances because it's dusk, and regular vision isn't going to work. So he turned his camera off. You know the cameras that we had that we were walking around with. I couldn't focus 10 feet in front of me. So when Dean Cain said you lost $10 million, I was like, you know what I said? And it wasn't to him. It was whoever wrote that friggin' line. And whoever you are, you know, no hard feelings. You tried to make me look like an ass on national television. Here it's from me to you. Kiss my ass. That line was unfair, and you know it. There's nothing I could have done. I could not have done anything from the distance I was at. I couldn't have, even if my camera was running, night vision or day or regular, it would not have caught what was way down there, 40 to 60 feet away. I never had a shot, ever.
Okay, so did that experience turn you into a partial skeptic, into a believer?
Yeah, I get asked that question a lot. I believe that there is something weird in the woods. I absolutely believe that there's something weird in the woods. I don't know. I do not know what that was. If I had to guess, Richter, I would say it was a Bigfoot, but I don't know.
Wow.
Because it walked on two legs. What else could it be? Unless it was that's another thing with the Native American thing. I'm a ghost hunter. No one else there is a ghost hunter. I mean, how could I say it could? I didn't know at that time when we were doing our OTFs after. At that time, I did not know that there were all those burial grounds in there. I didn't know until after we did the OTFs, or I would have said, I'm a ghost hunter. That could have been a really tall Native American.
Right, and for those of you watching, an OTF means on-the-fly interview.
Right, exactly. So we're standing in front of the camera, and they're asking me to tell the story over and over and over again, and I'm trying to, I haven't even wrapped my mind around it. As a ghost hunter, if I would have known that there were shallow graves in there of Native Americans, I would have been like, you know what I could have seen? I mean, because it was more like a shadow than anything else, and it moved so fast, it could have been a spirit. I mean, I don't know, Sally, I don't know if you've seen spirits in person. Have you seen dark shadows move like that?
Yes.
Okay, so you would probably understand where I'm coming from.
Yes, I do. You're kind of in between a rock and a hard spot. And it's nothing to be ashamed of, and it's nothing to question. It happened. You have your interpretation, and somebody else has theirs. You know what's true in your heart.
I know. That's why I say I saw something. If you make me define what it is, it's frustrating because on the one hand I could say it was a shadow of a spirit. On the other, I could say it's kind of what people explain when they say they see Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Right. It was okay. Whatever it was fast. It went up from 4 to 2 legs and went from tree to tree in a tremendous gait. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay, that's very squatchy.
Right. But it's all. Go ahead.
I don't think it was a spirit, because if it goes from, I think you would have been able to define, it being down and then standing up. You probably went from a crouching position like men do,
right?
Or you would do, and then stand up. If it was, to me, that would be more or less a Bigfoot.
Yeah, squatchy, and
yeah.
And let me also elaborate just a little bit. When Michael wanted to come around those cows, so I'm standing behind him, and he's up here. He's trying to go this way, and I mean, we could easily have just like gone in a straight line toward him, but he wanted to go around. Past the cows on the other side were the green giants. You know what they were doing there, Sally? They were burning sage as a spiritual offering to the earth.
The sweetgrass.
Saying that the Green Giant and their team or their crew, however many cameramen or whatever with them, were in that area beyond where you had your sighting. How could you rule out that it might not have been somebody that was with them?
They were on the other side of the barbed wire fence, and the cows went toward them at the same exact time that I saw this thing get up and start walking. It started walking toward the cows. The cows moved toward the fence, and on the other side of that fence were the Green Giants, who are Native Americans, doing this offering to the earth. The whole scenario is, some people say that Bigfoot is a spiritual experience, especially the Native Americans. They hold it in high spiritual esteem, and to have these natives over there doing their thing, and to see this thing come over, and we all experienced it all at the same time. I mean, it was quite a fantastic event, as far as
yes, they call the wolf is a spiritual animal to them too, but it is a flesh and blood animal.
Mm-hmm. Well.
So, Kat, with all the experiences that you had on that show, good and bad, would you ever consider doing something like that again?
Going Bigfoot hunting again?
No, another show like that, or
Bigfoot Bounty Part 2.
Reality.
Yeah, I mean, if it came up again, would you do it again?
If the Bigfoot Bounty came up again, I would have to kindly and thankfully decline.
Oh, come on, you do it with Shaney. Come on.
No, you asked me that before, and I'm, if we hadn't done the show and it was a brand new thing again, like it was this last time, and they were like, would you like to do it? I probably would do it. But now that I've done it, not only would I would like 99% not do it, I would actually 99% tell people who may be thinking about doing it, don't do that.
Well,
even you,
honestly,
Rictor.
It didn't look like too many of the teams were enjoying themselves that much, and I realized that through editing they picked out the most dynamic scenes to put on television. But it looked to me like Rictor was the only one really having a good time, and maybe Ro.
Ro's a great
Stacey
storyteller.
Brown, the winner.
You know who's a really good storyteller? Oh, you weren't there, Rictor. Justin went into this ginormous spiel about why there's more Bigfoot in the Northwest than there are in the Northeast, and it lasted so long. It was all about the Europeans bringing over diseases like measles and smallpox over to the East Coast, and how the Vikings came over and destroyed and decimated the population. It lasted so long. Shaney actually looked at me and said, "Does he have a fucking point? Is he gonna fucking stop?" And he's freaking on. I was like, I don't know. Where the hell is this coming from? Justin talked for like 20 minutes straight. It was, oh my god, it was so funny.
Okay, now let's say you did have the winning shot, and you won the $10 million. Did you ever think in your mind what you would do with that kind of money?
I never in a million years even considered that $10 million was on the table. So
you never entertained it? Not even for a split second?
Like a very realistic point of view, Kat. I commend you for that.
The thing is this, I didn't go for the money. I went because I was told that we were looking for Bigfoot in a serious way, and it was going to be filmed, and that's the way it was posed to us. Now, the executive producer did say, but we are making a TV show, and I'm like, yeah, but he said we want this to be taken seriously. Yeah, exactly. We want this to be taken seriously. We're focusing on the science of it. We want to make sure that it stands out above the rest, and so I was like, that's why I'm doing it. I want to go to these hot spots with probably one of the best Bigfooters in this country, as far as I was concerned, and and I want to go there and I want to do it. That's what I want to do, and it wound up being, something else. And so the money was never really, even the $100,000 wasn't even in my mind. It never was.
Well, honestly, the science was really a focal point in the first 3 episodes.
Yeah, it was all poop.
That, not so much.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's like one of the cast actually said you for the first 3 episodes, you know, I was all about poop, and he literally said to me, you can't make a show about shit. Nobody will watch it.
I think that was Matt, wasn't it?
Yes,
Talking
it
about
was.
the golden turd.
The golden turd. And he's like, he told me, he's like, I do this for a living. You cannot make a show out of shit. No one will watch it.
You know, I gotta say, the first time I heard about you, Kat, was in a conversation with Sally here. Sally, if we go back a year and a half when the rumors were going around about Michael Merchant picking a ghost hunter named Kat, do you remember the conversation we had? Do you remember? You were the first person to tell me that she was a ghost hunter.
Yeah, I told you she was a ghost hunter.
Yeah, from Maine, and you sent me the link to check out her website.
Yeah.
So I was already doing my homework on you, Kat, checking out the competition.
I beat him to it, though. And the only reason why I beat him to it is, did you guys ever finish the app for iPhone?
The multi-login app?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Right now it's called Soladex, SOLADEXX, and that allows multiple logins on your iPhone. And actually, it used to be called FaceDeck. It's not called that anymore because Tony actually got a cease and desist letter from Facebook over the name of it because it has the word face in it. And actually, Tony took Facebook to, you know, almost to court. I mean, it came down to like lawyer against lawyer against lawyer against lawyer for, I don't know, a couple months before he finally renamed it to Soladex.
Okay, did you ever do that for the Android?
No, hold on a second. Did you ever make an Android version of Soladex? Are you in the process?
Huh?
Are you in the process? He's in the process of making it for Android right now.
Okay, now, what is this that you're talking about? I have no clue.
It's a so, like, say you manage a bunch of pages or you have 2 Facebook accounts. Tony's application allows you to be logged into all of the profiles and the pages all at the same time.
Nice.
Okay, so this doesn't have anything to do with ghosts.
No, well, he initially called it. It was the Ghost Hunter. It was a Ghost Hunter app. It was a Maine Ghost Hunters app. That's probably what Sally's talking about. He made it for Maine Ghost Hunters, and he called it the Maine Ghost Hunters something app before he renamed it to FaceDeck, and now it's called Soladex. So yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Long story long.
We got a couple more Bigfoot questions for you if Tammy would check her phone. Rick.
Well, while she's checking that, your group, you started out just as mainly as ghost hunters.
Right.
Did you ever do cryptids besides, or did you add cryptids to it, or anything strange and bizarre?
Well,
or did you just ease into it. Just one day go, oh, we're going to go Bigfoot hunting.
Well, that's the way it appears. If you look at our meetup site, that's the way it appears that we just kind of plunged into Bigfooting. But I've always for some reason, I've always had this draw to Bigfoot. I think it was that Patterson-Gimlin film that I saw when I was really young. I've never been able to get Bigfoot out of my mind. But I was raised in the city. You know, Rictor may laugh because he lives in Las Vegas. I was raised in Augusta, Maine. Ooh, big city. But I was taught to be afraid of the woods. You know, everything in the woods is out there. It's trying to kill me. It's trying to eat me. So I could never get out there into the woods to actually find Bigfoot. So it seems like we just kind of fell into it. But I've had this fascination with it my entire life. We also do UFO sky watching. That's another thing, but that's really hard to video record, so you don't see a lot of that. You actually don't see any of it because, I don't know how to present it. I don't know how to present it to an audience, but we do that quite a bit.
That's interesting.
We won't even talk about UFOs. No.
Oh, wait, come on now.
No.
I love UFOs.
No.
I love UFOs too.
No. No, ghosts and Bigfoot. We don't want to have like a paranormal explosion.
Okay, but what Kat doesn't know is that before I was with the Bigfoot, I was a UFO guy. So
Good, then we should talk later.
maybe.
Because I like UFOs.
Oh, and
I've
he'll
had
talk.
some-
He'll talk.
some
He'll talk
experiences.
your arm off. He'll
Good.
talk your arm off.
So, Kat, what was the best memory you have that you brought home from the Bigfoot Bounty experience? Was it the party? I think there was a lot of beer drinking there, wasn't there?
Yeah, but she was never part of that. She was always tucked away in the bedroom with Michael.
Wow.
Hey. This is a family show, Rick.
Yeah, that won't get you a run-in with a charging bull, but maybe an angry heifer.
Oh, Tammy!
Tammy.
Oh, we don't want to talk
Tammy.
about anything that could be.
Oh, your best memory from Bigfoot Bounty, Kat.
Oh, God. Why did you ask me this question?
Because Rictor typed it to me on my freaking phone.
I'm trying to help out my co-host.
And
Alright.
he's the boss.
I will lend my best memory to off camera, and it's partial kissing ass, but it's also partial. It's the only thing I can remember. Was the morning that the gay rights issue went through. Remember that, Rictor?
Yes, with the Supreme Court.
Our plaintiffs now get to go back to California and together with every other citizen of California, marry the person they love.
That was a big deal. Because I can relate to that. Of course, Rictor was there waiting, and the executive producer came in and said, great news. And of course, Rictor was waiting for that great news. And in my family, it's a big deal in my family too. And so when I heard about it, I was happy. But he was actually on the verge of tears. So
yeah, because we were sequestered from the internet, from the news, from
everything.
Yeah, so I was just like, I'm dying to know. I've been waiting my whole life for this.
Exactly. And we were up early. There was nobody else up.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of that, the state of Pennsylvania recently passed, the Supreme Court said that same-sex marriage was now okay in the state of Pennsylvania. So,
Steve,
and the city that.
Does that make you happy, Steve?
No, it doesn't, because Rictor's already proposed to me, and I've had to turn him down. So.
I haven't proposed to you tonight, Steve. Will you marry me?
No, sorry. But anyway, I want to say that the city that I reside in, well, not reside in, but the county that I reside in, has already allowed a couple of the marriages. So that's great stuff.
Gays aren't so special anymore. I'm just going to be just.
And it's good. Because you're just people,
Yeah.
People's people.
My favorite memory of Kat.
Special, Rick.
Oh, thank you. My favorite memory of Kat. Kat, I don't know if you know this.
Uh-oh.
All right. It is the second day we're there in Glenwood, and you and Michael Merchant, Dax and myself, Ro and Justin, we are in the van to go do our hero shots.
Yeah.
Somebody realized, oh, I'm going to be out in mud. Maybe I should have my boots. And I am not leaving until I get my boots. No, Michael, I am not wearing these shoes. I will be wearing my boots. No, Michael, no. What's wrong with your shoes? No, Michael, I am not doing this shoot without my boots. No. And the poor director's driving us, and he's sitting in the chair having to listen to the odd couple fighting behind me and Dax. And I lean into the director's ear, and I'm like, get every fucking shoe she has. Shoot.
Thank you.
So the director leans into his microphone, bring me every shoe Kat has out of her room.
Thank you.
Because we could not leave until Kat gets the appropriate shoe for her hero shot, which was never used in the show!
I know. They didn't show my feet. What up?
Oh, God, you were such a diva, and I'm the gay man, and you were like, I am not doing this with you. And, of course, Michael...
Well, Could you blame him?
It appeared like you were under some extreme stress in the filming of this show. Is that true?
Well, I will say the short answer is yes, and the slightly longer answer is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week with the same person that you're not married to can actually do that to a person. And I like Michael. Please don't take this out, Rictor. I like Michael. However, I am not married to Michael. We did not spend any time like this together beforehand, and he is somewhat of a high-intensity individual. So, yes.
Well put. Okay.
And we saw in the final episode, you reached your breaking point, girl.
Yeah, well,
Man's lucky to be alive.
I think, you know...
Do you need to turn around and shut the up?
You knew
Shut up!
what we were doing.
Shut up!
And
I'm done with this. Shut up.
fine, be done with this.
Move. Go.
let's go. Good. I'm glad you're angry. Now maybe you'll keep up with me.
I'm not going to trash my partner because he is excellent at what he does, but I will tell you this. He ranted and raved at me for probably a good 15-20 minutes straight before I told him I'd had enough, and it was incessant. It did not stop. I asked him to stop. He just, I could not believe it. He's like a machine. Well, he is like a machine, but he
a ranting and raving machine?
Oh my, yes, and it was, I do not want to relive it. I couldn't stop it. So they showed the one sentence that I used, or two sentences that I used to get him to be quiet. That's the only thing they showed. I could not believe it. Actually, I could believe it. But
were you surprised that you two lasted as long as you did? You had to have been worried in the third episode when you didn't have that footage of whatever it was that you saw.
I actually told one of the producers. I don't know if I should say the name. Should I?
No, just say producer. Just say producer.
All right. I told one of the producers the next day. Actually, the next morning, I took her aside and I just said, I just want to say thank you for this opportunity, and I'm thrilled to have been here. This was great. And she just looked at me. She's like, "What? You're not giving up, are you?" And I'm like, no, but you saw what happened out there last night, right? I mean, and she was like, yeah, you just keep doing what you're doing. And I'm like, I just got told that I blew the money shot. Who do you think's going home the next time? I'm just trying to be real. From that point on, we packed our bags to leave before we went out to the elimination round. Every time that we had an elimination, Michael and I had our stuff all packed.
Well, I remember your bedroom. The nice, clean, organized side is Kat McKechnie's, and the nuclear wasteland was all merchants. I mean, it was just, how could you find anything with all that scattered all over? Oh my gosh, type A and Kat was type A and Michael was type O. It's.
I know. I have to tell you, I had all the important stuff was on my side, and it was labeled, and it was organized, and it was in all the drawers that we had there. I didn't have any clothes in those drawers, so we could just pull it out and use it. Yeah.
And here's a little known fact: Kat was also my drug dealer on the set.
Oh, I gave, yeah. It didn't work though.
Oh my God, it was so bad. I was in allergy hell.
Yes,
were you guys cooking meth out in Todd's lab or what?
No, but I'll tell you, I have allergies really, really badly, and Rictor looked so horrible that I actually I take Claritin D every single day. I can't function without it. He looked so horrible. I actually gave him one of mine. And right before I put it in his hand, I said, "You better appreciate this." And I gave it to him, and he didn't appreciate it. The next day, he's like, "That didn't work."
It didn't work. I was like,
I was so worried about him because he had never been out in the woods like that before, and I was like, "My God, he's gonna die."
And it looked like he was dying a couple days there. And he looked terrible.
And he's gonna die.
I did good. The only thing that happened to me was falling in the river.
I'm a city boy. I have never been out here in the woods like this. This is my first time. Rictor!
Well, maybe that was my favorite memory. Was Rictor? He was freezing, and they had the air conditioner on, and I was cold. I had my jacket on. Rictor's sitting beside me, and he's like
I'm like leaning into you. I remember.
Right, exactly. I'm like, do you need my jacket? Rictor's like, no, and I'm like, are you sure you don't need my jacket? No. And as it was like we were like 2 hours away, you guys. By like 30 minutes down the road, Rictor's had denied my jacket at least 3 times, and he started leaning in and snuggling, and I'm like, hello. I took my jacket, I'm like, here is my jacket, wear it. He's like, thank you so much. I'm like, Alec, you left me a choice. There's my jacket. That was a good night.
We really did have a lot of fun.
Yeah, we did. It was fun.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of Bigfoot sightings happen. I think probably the majority of Bigfoot sightings over the years have been for people that weren't really looking.
Right, and I think the more credible stories, ghost hunting, UFOs, whatever, are the ones that come when those people didn't want to see them. You know what I mean?
That's true, and that's why when the producers during the OTF were like, this is what you're here for. I'm like, this is the worst possible scenario. Having a Bigfoot sighting, potential Bigfoot sighting while we're filming Hunting for Bigfoot show. And I told him that. I'm like, this is the worst possible scenario I could possibly be in. And I mean, I don't feel good about it. I don't want this aired. I don't want this put on national television. I know what's going to happen.
Right, unless you got it crystal clear, undeniably on camera, and physical evidence to go along with it. You're right. It is the worst scenario. It's
the worst. And they 2 producers at 2 different times. They just looked at me like, what? Like, do you understand why you're here? I'm like, do you understand? Like, you can't possibly understand what it's like to be on this side, projecting out to millions of people who already don't believe you. And now it was just. They just didn't understand. They didn't get it. And they thought I didn't get it.
Right, but I went through the casting process as well. I mean, I didn't make it as far as you guys did, but when we tried to explain to them those types of things, it was just, don't you want the money? No, it's not about the money.
Exactly.
It's more about trying to discover what this thing was, And that's but they didn't understand that. Yeah. Well, I could have used the money. Trust me.
And the money.
A bit, yes.
Like Kat, the money never really crossed my mind, but it did. I had it all spent.
We talked. That's back when we talked.
Yes, I know, Tammy. I know, and
I got you there, Steve.
I had every penny spent.
Kat, we've got some questions.
Never dreamed.
We've got some questions that we normally ask our guests.
Okay.
In regards
Are they
to
nice?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Are you kill or no kill when it comes to Bigfoot?
No kill. The end.
Okay. Patterson Gimlin film. Do you think that's real?
Actually, once I heard the backstory of the Patterson Gimlin film, I did become a little bit skeptic. Before I heard the backstory, I was not skeptic. I was like, that is amazing. But when I did hear the backstory, I became, maybe like 80-20, 80 believe, 20 there's a possibility that it could be something else.
That Bigfoot butt we were talking about earlier, Kat, we've seen it before on Patty.
Oh, you did?
Hey, Kat.
Similar Bigfoot butt to Patty, only I think it was bigger.
It was much bigger.
Regarding the Patterson Gimlin film, I have met Bob Gimlin, and I can tell you, in my mind, that man is telling the truth 100%. So if you ever get a chance to meet him, I think he'll change your mind. But that's my opinion on it.
No, that's okay, and I respect that opinion. I mean, we went and we hunted in that area. Our not the last hunt, not the finale, but the one before that. We were actually in that area, and I'll be honest with you, if there's going to be a Bigfoot anywhere, it's going to be in that area, and I keep trying to get Tony to go back with me just to walk in that area because it's so impressive. The whole area is so impressive. I'm a little jealous that we didn't get to actually go down to the sighting area because the girls had the map, we didn't. But just the whole area was fantastic.
Well, you were very close because you were picked up by one of the trail cams that Strupert's group has out there. So.
Oh, I know we were.
That's cool.
So I have one more question for you, Kat. And
Sure.
This is a matter of opinion, and I believe that if there is a Bigfoot, it's a flesh and blood creature. That's my opinion. I have no clue because we don't know. What is your thinking on that?
And to add to that,
Yeah.
answer that and tell me if you think there's a conspiracy covering it up.
All right. If I listen to Michael and Dax, and Stacy to some degree, I would have to agree that there is a conspiracy to cover up or to block people from actually finding this creature, whether it's skunk ape or your traditional Bigfoot. Dax said something. Dax told me a conspiracy theory about paper companies and stuff like that. So it got me thinking. Do I think it's real? The correlation between UFO sightings and Bigfoot gets me thinking that yes, it's real. It is a physical being. However, is it this interdimensional creature? Is it still paranormal? Yes, I believe it could still be paranormal and a physical being at the same time. Yes, it's there. You can touch it. Does it disappear in front of bullets? People say it disappears in front of bullets. What can do that? Is it an interdimensional creature? You know what I mean? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, I'm babbling a little bit, but it's hard to explain. Is it real? Yes. Can you touch it? Yes. But does it slip into different dimensions? I mean, I don't know, but people say they shoot at it and it disappears. What can do that? I don't know.
Well, in that vein, do you think maybe there's different things that people are saying it? Maybe not all the same thing. Maybe
Yes.
There's a Bigfoot that's a flesh and blood creature, but then they're seeing maybe a spirit of something else.
That's a possibility too. I'm definitely open to all of those possibilities. I just need to be exposed to the different things that people are thinking so that I can lay my reasoning onto it. And I haven't heard anything. Oh, the one thing that I have heard that I do not agree with is that Bigfoots live in the ground under stumps of trees, and you can talk to them by banging your foot on the ground. I do not believe in that. I don't know if I'm the only one, but I don't.
Do you think they live on mostly peanut butter and apples?
It depends on whose feeding source they're getting their diet from. It depends on whose gifting tree they're visiting.
Or how long the line is in the grocery store.
Exactly.
I have to say that I've successfully become a habituator.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the woodchucks in my backyard really like the corn that I leave them. So they come and visit me now.
Okay.
They do disappear down this interdimensional, hole in the ground.
Hole, yes. And they probably live under the stump of a tree.
And if I pound on the ground with my foot, they may or may not,
respond.
Stacy and Dave.
I wish we had found Bigfoot. All that hard work finally paid off.
Well done.